Let there be light, and welcome to Living Essence. I am Siddhanta Ananda, bringing the big question, why are we here? And I've seen this question thrown out amongst a lot of spiritual groups. It is a question that's pitched to me many times from my clients, and it's a valid question, right? Why are we here? What's the purpose of all of this? What are we here to do? I see so many answers thrown out in some of the spiritual circles of we're here to love, and that's certainly a very noble and promising answer. And I think being here to love is certainly one of the things we're here to do. But why in this physical body? Why do our spirits, why does our soul embody to, what's the purpose behind that? What are we embodying to do? Why are we embodying? What's the purpose behind it? And I saw a question where someone said, I looked into life and I find, I've looked into all the scriptures and spiritual teachings, and I find there seems to be just no meaning behind it. Everything seems to be meaningless. And so then I've seen many gurus start talking about life is meaningless. There is no meaning in life. I go along with some of that, and of course, as a mystic, I find there is no wrong or right answer. As soon as you arrive at a right answer or a wrong answer, then there's always just another question hiding behind that. And like I said in the last video, life is not a problem to be solved. It is a experience. It is it's a mystery to be experienced, as Osho says. And so we throw that question out here, and I've seen so many people get tied up. I'm trying to find my purpose in life. And I say, look, you have no purpose. You are purposeful. And the reason I say that is that we restrict ourselves by saying, I want to know what my purpose is, as if you only have one purpose. For me, I have multiple purposes. I'm aware of that. I'm a father. I'm a beloved. I'm a life coach and a healer. So much purpose there. It's just how much of that purpose do we realize? And of course, realizing is, as I said in the previous video, and please go watch that if you want to have a bit of an understanding as to how self-realization can help us through our sadnesses and depressions and anxiety. We're bringing a realization to the understanding that you are purposeful. There are many purposes. You are multifaceted. The human being is multifaceted. And then when you look down into the cellular level of our physical being, you come to understand that you're made up of trillions of cells that in their own right are like mini you. It has a circulatory system, a respiratory system, a reproductive system. You are systems within systems. And so your cells, your trillions of cells, are working together, and yet independently as well, and individually. I wouldn't say independently, I'd say interdependently. So within the human body, they are a construct of one system, and yet within their own systems individually, they are working interdependently with each other, and also not denying their own understanding of their own system. So we are systems within systems. But then you get these closed systems like the social structure that we have, and that can become very confining to an individual that is more than willing to work within the system but not lose their individuality. And I think that's where people come to this point of asking the question, what are we here for? What does this all mean? What's the point of this? Well, even each and every cell in our body is working within its means, within its meaning. So the membrane of the cell, the very part that connects to its environment, all of its information, the membrane, the outside part, the part that's touching its environment, all of that is sending a signal for that cell to understand as to how to act, as to how to learn and adapt within its environment. The membrane, the very part that is touching the environment, is sending the signal as to how to act and what the meaning is around it. So as us as energetic, infinite beings, and again, watch 2 videos prior to this to understand that you are an infinite being, and there's proof to that within the understanding of the human duality experience that we're going through. So after 5.5 minutes, am I going to cut to the chase and tell you why it is that we're here? Absolutely. It's very, very evident. And as you're watching me, that's a bit of a giveaway. You are seeing me with your eyes. You are hearing me with your ears. You're sitting down, feeling the chair underneath you, or if you're standing, the ground underneath your feet. Just probably bringing awareness to the smells around you. We are here to sense. When someone said, this whole life makes no sense to me, it just doesn't make any sense, I said, hang on, come back. This whole thing, the whole reason you're here, the whole experience is about sensing. What do you mean it makes no sense? You're feeling the phone that you're tapping this very message on, or your keyboard. You are tasting the food that you're eating. Everything you do, everything, the human experience is based around the 5 sense perceptions. And then those that begin to connect within their spirit again, and with those around them, within the system of the humanity, there is the 6th sense, that sense of the energy around us. So we can tune into that as well. And we can probably go into 7th and 8th, and there's probably more senses than we know. On the spectrum, the senses that we have, the 5 sense perceptions of the human structure, are quite minimal. And they are, they're not broad. A dog can hear far higher pitches than us. A bee can see further and wider on the color spectrum. So we are here to sense but a little part of reality. The spiritual being, the soul, embodies to sense and to feel. And isn't it interesting that how often we push our feelings away? I was talking with a client today. I said, I have felt sadness without having a reason to be sad. I have felt happiness without having a reason to be happy. And when you simply sit with emotions and feelings and sensing, it's a beautiful and wonderful thing, and it's unique to the human physical experience. A soul does not sense in that way, as far as touching, smelling, tasting, all of those things, because you need a body for that. A body is what you need to taste. A body is what you need to smell. Now, I'm not saying that as a soul, there's no emotion or no sensing as such. We don't know what it is without a soul. Just as much as the guides have made clear to me, they forget when they disembody, when the soul disembodies, so there's not, getting around in this human structure, they forget what it's like to be human. And it's not so much that they forget as they're not embodying a human body. So it's very much, we do things time and again. Can you explain the smell of a flower? When you're not embodied, you can only know what it is when you are embodied. So they see us when they kind of forget about the emotions and the sensing that we go through. So when they're watching us from the broader band plane of existence, which is just not being embodied, but being everywhere all at once, the feeling and the sensing isn't there for them in that moment. So to feel and sense and learn, as far as a human does, as far as experiencing the God expression through the illusion. Sorry, my phone's going to go dead. Through the illusion, you must be embodied. So why are we here? What's the meaning of life? To sense, to make sense. There is, and it's not so much to make sense, sensing is there. So the reason that life doesn't make sense at times is you forget that you're in the whole. It's like the fish in the ocean, not realizing it's, searching in the ocean looking for water when it hears about water, and water is its environment. So the whole thing with, what is the meaning of life? The very thing that you're doing, the thinking, the questioning, the feeling, that is the meaning. That is the reason. That is why we embody into the human experience. It's to feel. So don't deny any of your expressions. Don't deny any of your 5 sense perceptions and 6th sense perceptions when you get into telepathy and clairvoyance and all that. Don't deny any of that. That is, seeing through the veil and connecting this to the disembodied world. When you're embodied, you can still contact the disembodied world, but of course not see it in its full spectrum. So we are here to feel. Don't deny your feelings. Feel all of them. Feel love, happiness, joy, anger, sadness, jealousy. Experience them all. Go to the depths of each and every experience and feeling. Do not hold anything back, and do not deny any of them, for this is why you are here. I'm sending you all so much love, and I hope that is helpful.